My name is Surabhi Saraf. I'm a media artist, composer, and performer based in Brooklyn, New York. My practice examines our complex relationship with technology, using embodiment as a tool, and the body as a site for transformation. I also founded the Center for Emotional Materiality, which is an experimental research project which also examines the effects of technology on our bodies, beliefs, and the environment. So in Alaap, we meet Awoke at its home, which is a mine. It's modeled in Unreal Engine, which is modeled after the deepest copper mine on Earth. And here I'm imagining this mine as a healing wound that is always in this process of regeneration, and it's also a site of reconciliation of the wounds of the past.
Southeast by east, narrator northwest by west, at an angle of 45 degrees to the terrestrial equator.
In what state of rest or motion?
At rest relatively to themselves and to each other, in motion being each and...
I'm Adine Velez. I'm a Puerto Rican born and raised artist who's been living for many decades in New York City. I started to work on this piece quite a few years ago, and it took about 4 years to shoot and about 1 year to edit. It came out of my obsession with the human face, which is a link that goes through all my video work. And the work was originally a single channel piece, and it was about 20 minutes long. And it premiered at the Museum of Modern Art's documentary Fortnight. And I was quite pleased with it, but being digital, one can't help but mess with stuff after it's finished. So somehow or other, I got it in my mind to create a multi-channel piece. And so went from landscape to vertical format, and made it so that it's a little more interactive, if you can use that word, where a viewer can sort of pick and choose what they want to see rather than see it in a linear fashion.
Knows it well on land. 1,000 Dopplers. Throughout the city automatic throngs descend. Gesso of every field recording ever made in the streets of New York, steps to stations, and inescapable platforms. Grimy not trains. As pleasant as the wind. Not Xenia. Up above the Manhattan Bridge, the ferries passing under their sour look.
Why am I in charge and you are not?
A young man stretches out ahead, his sneakered feet, his hoodie doubled as a sleeping bag,
some have it
the
not.
nylon cords pulled tight.
I'm a virtuoso. What you say? Like, words are important. People use such bland and boring words that miss the point, like development,
maybe you think that's boring.
renewal, urban renaissance.
You say,
that
world
one's
is
not
full
so
of
bad.
facts.
But then the one that's worst
say,
of all, it's
can't you be
gentrification.
selective?
17.
There's a mouthful, like
Facts are never
a
only
meaningless
facts.
mouthful, like
Not one.
who's the
Throughout the
gentry
city,
here?
automatic
Gentry
throngs
sounds to me
Every
like something old.
Every
or
fact
fall
has
worn
fallen
out
on its little
concrete
flat
steps.
hands.
Hi, my name is Ivana Adama. I am an artist, and I really don't have a primary, like a medium, but in all of the work that I do, I explore one way or another using the sound. And in the project that is behind me called Command and Control, audience here at Governor's Island have a chance to interact with the piece by moving their eyes. Where I'm exploring how this sound installation can also be interactive. And it is composed of 6 different cymbals and drums that have little motors on the surface of them.
I'm Mia Masaoka, and what we're hearing now is reflected sound. These are hyper-directional speakers. And what they're doing is they're shooting a beam of sound rather than a beam of light, if you can think of what an LED light looks like. And these are shooting beams of sound towards these ceramic conical shapes. And so I named the piece Conicals of Sound because this kind of cone shape has a particular way of reflecting sound back. This is my piece. It's now untitled, but it's for shell, ceramics, and resonance with feedback and secondary reflections. And the idea of this piece, there's a seashell with shotgun microphones that are really close to the sound coming out of the shell. And it's then being reflected onto the ceramic work, and there's feedback that occurs, acoustic feedback, with these different sounds and reflective spaces going on. It's a way of experiencing these kinds of materials and this kind of very vibrant and reactive, responsive space. I think a lot of people as children have heard shells, have had a shell up to their ear, and experience the special resonance and frequency that comes from the spiral formation of a shell. And that spiral formation forms a particular reverberation, and that reverberation we have a lot of memories with. You know, like, I think it's really interesting that when you listen to the shell, it sounds like the ocean that it came from. And when I was a child, I thought that that was the ocean sound, was the real ocean sound. And it wasn't until later that I realized, or that I learned, that it was actually the ambient sound from the room and the particular relationship of the spiral that was creating this ocean-like sound.